Welcome back. So we're on week 7 of Qigong Foundations course. So let's get started with warming our wrist up. And our elbows. Another direction. And our shoulders. And the other direction. And our neck. And the other direction. And down. And back. And down. And back. And down. And back. And down. And back. Center. Left. And right. Left. And right. Left. And right. Good. Press our arms out. Make our T. And other direction. Make our T. And bring the towel to the right. To the left. 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 And center. Good. Let's give a big hug. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And back to center. Let's go ahead and swing. And shoulders. Good. Let it fizzle out. Sink into the right leg, big circles with the knee. Shift into the left leg, big circles with the knee. And back into the center. Good. Let's go ahead and reach over and stretch our spine. Breathing into the lower dantian. And tuck the pelvis under. Roll the spine up. Oh, good. Now we've got new brains. Okay. Let's go pulling down the heavens. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale, inhale, 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 exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Okay, let's do our channel dredging. Reach down, grow up, cross the diaphragm, come up, go deep in the center of the earth, side the head, down, deep into the center of the earth, digging into the channels, grabbing any gunk and getting rid of it. Number 3. 4. 5. 6. Good. Okay, channel dredging. Let's go into trembling horse. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrist. 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 One more. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrist. Okay, good. Push dropping. Here we go. And drop, 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 and drop. One more. Vibrate the spine like a tuning fork. And drop. Oh, good. Okay. Let's just take a quick sip of water. Okay, we need to do dry crying. So we lean back. Deep into the center of the earth, dropping everything out of the lungs into the center of the earth. Again. And touch the floor. And again. And touch the floor. tilting the head. And come back up. Let all of your blood in your brain settle. Now that you've got a new brain. And let's go into chi scattering, okay? So we pull our hands up, and here we go. Filling and releasing. 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 Sending the chi deep into the center of the earth. A few more. Continuing to tuck the pelvis and sink under. Tucking the pelvis and sinking under. Tucking the pelvis and sinking under so that we fill with more and more chi. Yeah? The dantian can hold more and more chi. Fill. Continually sinking and tucking under. 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 Good. Okay. Now we have our spinal stretch. So we're going to go down, gather, and settle in the lower dantian. Reach down, undulate the spine, filling and settling. Reaching down, grabbing, filling. Reaching down, grabbing, filling. Always sinking, 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 even as we squat down, even as we come up. We're grabbing the chi from the earth, undulating our spine, filling our lower dantians with more and more chi. Let's stop. Everyone take a nice wide stance. And that wide stance should be wider than your shoulder width apart, okay? Sinking, gathering the chi, undulating the spine, sinking, sinking, sinking. Two more. And settle on the lower dantian. Good. So this will work your legs, and the deeper you go into this, the more it's going to work your legs, and the more it's going to fill the lower dantian with chi. One of my favorite exercises because of the importance of regulating the spine, the cerebrospinal fluid, and the blood within the brain. So today we have a new one, and this one is called swaying. Now, swaying is a way of working the lower dantian. So it's a lower dantian exercise that builds and accumulates chi into the lower dantian. Now, what we just did is going to regulate the spine, and we are intentionally putting in the lower dantian. But this next exercise will not only fill the chi in the lower dantian, but it will compact it, creating a very powerful lower dantian. Okay, now the lower dantian is the center and the source of all energy connecting to all organs. So I'm compacting and supercharging that space. Yeah, this is a really great one as well. Okay, now the thing is, this was taught to me as a way as a qigong doctor to cultivate energy and qi within my body. And because of this, because we're constantly giving qi to people, we need to be able to cultivate a really strong, powerful battery of our own so that we can be able to help anybody through any sickness that they have. And the doctor first has to be healthy before he can help someone else. So this one was given to me for that reason, right? But the thing that you come to learn when you start cultivating this chi and building up more is, well, a lot of times when you interact with somebody, you're giving them your chi. Now, I'm not going to tell you to not interact with people, but I will say consider your interactions with people around you like an investment. And you need to see, is your investment giving you a return or is it only taking, right? And you need to consider why you're investing, right? So this is not just what you're doing energetically and what you get out of it, or if you get anything out, or if you're only putting out. Like, you need to understand these factors. But also you need to understand the why behind things. Why are they having the investment with you, and why are you having the investment with them, right? Sometimes it's work related, right? You have to talk with a client or something like that. Sometimes it's emotional based. Sometimes it's family, right? But the more that you can cultivate this chi, the easier it will be for you to understand, because your abilities will be heightened, your intuition, your clairsentience, all of these abilities, your ability to feel and to know and to speak, all this will be heightened because you will be gathering more chi for yourself. It'll become much more evident and clear why you have interactions with people. And now I'm not telling you to be a sage and or a monk in the mountains and not talk with anyone. I mean, if you feel called to that life, well, so be it. That's most certainly your choice and what you want to do. I'm just saying that it's a wise thing for you to monitor your interactions with other people and understand what they're there for and why they're happening, right? So I'll leave that up to you. I'll give you the awareness there now that you have it, and I'll leave you to understand those things, okay? So that being said, let's talk about what swaying is. So we take our shoulder width stance, and we are going to sink down. So we tuck our pelvis under, we bend our knees, and we rise up. When our hands rise up, and then we sit down. So it looks like this. Our hands will sway behind us. Okay, so let's just do this for 15 times, okay? Get used to the motion. So up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down. Always sinking, okay? Going up and down, up and down. Always sinking, 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 always sinking. Good. Now you can see my body is nice and full, yeah? So comparatively to when I first started, yeah, you can see how full my abdomen is, how full my chest is. This is all chi accumulation I've just built up. So first we need to cleanse the body, make it pure and clean, and then we can build the energy up, yeah, with clean, good energy. Now, let's add another layer to this, okay? So we inhale, exhale, sink down. 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 Let's do it. I'm going to do it audibly for you to hear. You don't need to do it this loud. It should be quiet when I want you to understand, okay? Okay, good. So now you can hear me inhaling and exhaling. Now the next layer to this, and this is the real secret, is the dantian. You need to expand the dantian when you inhale and contract the dantian when you exhale, right? So okay, good. So you'll see again, my abdomen is nice and full. My body, my chest, my abdomen, everything is nice and full. Yeah, and the what you're doing is you're opening the dantian, filling with qi, compressing, opening it. And when you open, you're absorbing, feeling more compressing, feeling more compressing, feeling more compressing. So not only are you stuffing more chi into a very small space, you're consolidating the chi, so you're stuffing in a small space. Every time that you open and close the dantian, like I'm telling you, you're using your mind and your intention to open and to close the dantian. What you're doing is you're energizing the dantian, so the dantian's it gets this electromagnetic charge. Yeah, so we are bioelectric beings, and the bioelectric rhythms of the earth. We are very connected to that, and the more charged, the more you'll be in tune with these things, with the seasons. These things that I talk about of like living in harmony with the seasons, and understanding how these things work. The more that you charge that dantian, you'll not only will you compact the chi, so the amount of chi that you can discharge in a one moment, whether it's for martial or healing or spiritual purposes. The amount that you can discharge is way more because you are filling and compressing it. And actual the dantian, the sphere, the area that it is supercharged, and what that means is that it's going to supercharge the organs. So this is going to be new for some people, and it's going to be a little bit of adjustment, and it's going to feel energizing, but it's also going to be something that you start to build up to, and you're building up this level the more you practice. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a practice for swaying. Okay, here we go. Now slowly come out of it. So you want to fill the lower dantian. Okay, that was 50 times. This is how many times you should practice this exercise. 50 is a really good way. See, we need to do the clearing first. Now, if you don't, if maybe like if you're in a little bit older and you're not practicing as much and you don't have as much, you feel tired, then you can do 20 and then work your way up, right? Same thing, you need to look at this and adjust. Like some people have a lot more that they need to remove. And some people only have a little they need to remove, and then they can cultivate a lot, right? So you need to look at that, and that's how you can balance these exercises for you. Although ultimately you would like to keep a nice balance between removing and adding. And of course, we're going to regulate, but you would like to get to a point of keeping a nice balance between removing and adding so that you're not one way, right? And you'll start to feel this. You get to a level of like, whoa, I'm adding a bunch. I got so much energy. And then you're hypersensitive. You can be hypersensitive to things if you're not aware of this, right? It's part of the training. And the other way of removing, you're like, oh, I'm super. Instead of having so much energy, I'm super like low. I don't have a lot of energy, and I'm super open to all this stuff. I don't need to take. I don't have a lot of gunk, so I realized like I don't have a lot of gunk, so I only need to do a little bit of removal, right? So first, do the numbers I'm telling you, and after you have that experience for well the entirety of this program, maybe invest another few weeks, and then start to you have the freedom then to make it fit for you. You'll know intuitively when you need to move from exercise to exercise, how much you need to move, how much you need to add. It'll become a sense of a feeling, okay? So let's take another sip of water. All right, we're going to continue with the middle dantian and the standing. So we're going to tuck our pelvis under, suspend the crown, align the spine and the structure, slowly raise the hands. And we're going to breathe into the lower dantian. Tucking the pelvis under, sinking down. Pushing the top of the head up, tucking the chin, sinking the shoulders, making the elbows heavy. Opening the fingers, opening the palms, reaching through the fingers. Opening the scapula, sinking the chi, relaxing the chest, tucking the pelvis under, settling everything in the bottom of the feet. Let's go ahead and start dissolving down the front, not down the forehead, around the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, the throat, the chest, the insides of the arms, the abdomen, the pelvis, the thighs, the knees, the shins, the ankles, the tops of the feet, back of the head, back of the neck, upper back, middle back, lower back, and down the backs of the arms, the buttocks, the back of the thighs, back of the knees, back of the calves, back of the heels, bottom of the feet, and finding the center, adjusting your structure, dissolving through the top of the head, throat, the chest, the abdomen, pelvis, thighs, the knees, the shins, the ankles, the feet, the center of the feet deep into the earth. Breathing into the shoulders, the elbows, the wrist, the bones in the hands, to the hips, the knees, the ankles, the bones in the feet. From the top of the spine, breathing and expanding every vertebra. The middle of the spine, to the lower spine, into the sacrum. Back into the lower dantian, breathing deep in the lower dantian. Teeth together, tongue over the mouth, eyes closed. Sinking the chi. Sinking and settling the chi. Sinking the chi in the bottom of the feet. Every time we breathe, we feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian, we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian, we pack it down in the legs, like a pair of waders getting more full. We feel the dantian, we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. We feel the dantian and we pack it down in the legs. Filling the legs with more and more chi, sinking deeper and deeper. Reaching through the fingertips. Stretching the limbs from the body, dilating the channels. Filling them with more and more chi. Sinking deeper and deeper. Very slowly start to lower the hands as we come up. And let's inhale Earth Chi, Heaven Chi through the Taiji pole. Seal. Inhale Earth Chi, Heaven Chi through the Taiji pole. And seal. Inhale Earth Chi, Heaven Chi through the Taiji pole. And seal. So we've just not only cultivated a lot of chi, we've energized our organs internally, and we have settled and rooted our mind into our body and our lower dantian. The more you get experience with these exercises, the easier they become. What I mean by that is the skill and the quality of what you're doing becomes easier and easier. The fluidity of your spine becomes easier and easier. Your ability to stretch your spine becomes easier and easier. Your ability to open and close the dantian becomes easier and easier. Your ability to gather more chi becomes easier and easier. Your ability to root to your mind and everything into your body and your lower dantian becomes easier and easier. The more that you practice and the more that you do that, that's why the practice is important. And there's a certain rhythm, and there's a certain level of respecting that rhythm, right? So the best way to build on that rhythm, instead of it being so difficult, is to set a daily time that you do this. So if you do this at 6 a.m. when you get up first thing in the morning, that's best. And you practice at 6 a.m. and you only have 30 minutes worth of ability to practice, eventually this will increase to 45, to an hour, right? And you build and build and build. But the daily practice, you tell your body, oh, this is what we're doing. This is what we want to do. This is what we're going to do. So you tell your body, okay, I'm doing this and I can do more of this. And then your life starts to improve because you've got more energy, your body's healthier, and then you can use that to help others and to accomplish things in the world that you want to accomplish and to just be happy. Show other people what being happy looks like when you have all this energy and this love and happiness in your heart. That doesn't mean that you don't have to still be a person and still mature and still learn and grow. Like, these are all real things. But instead of seeing life as a tragedy through them, you'll start to find the joys and the pleasures through them. You'll start to understand why you've gone through things. You'll start to understand that value of like, oh, you know what? I didn't like this, but this is what was needed to happen. And I'm actually grateful for the lesson I learned from this, and it's helped me grow into this. And you might not even like it at the time, but you'll look back later and go, okay, I'm appreciative of this. It's sort of like a parent with their child, and they teach the child something, the child doesn't like it. And then later on down the line, they go, I'm so glad that my parent was strict in this way because it made me have these morals and values. Or vice versa. I'm so glad that my parent was lenient in this way because it allowed me to express myself and delve deeper into who I am without, bottling everything up, et cetera, right? So you realize these things, some people need more freedom, some people need more discipline, of course, right? But it seems if you need to have some experience with one. So if you're someone that's really experienced in freedom, or that's where you're picking to start, freedom of your whatever you're doing, raising your child, you need to develop a good skill set in that before you meander into the realm of discipline, and then develop that skill set. And then you can have this fluidity between the two, right? It's how we have a balance, right? Same thing, the way that we are working exercises to clear and remove the gunk. Then now we're adding exercises to gather and store the energy. And now we can fluidly go between the two once we get a good balance in them. So between now and the next week, you need to practice the tonification exercise, and you need to put more emphasis on that. Unless it's problematic, of course, then you dial back, right? But other than that, put your emphasis on the tonification exercises, the deep dive, and swaying, and on this building of the energy, okay? And we're going to keep working this. And then, like I say, after some time to get your own practice, you can fluidly and intuitively know how to move back and forth. So practice, be alive and vigorous, and enjoy. That's going to be it for today. Until next time.